Obama going to withstand these revelations coming out of the Chicago Tribune about the inaccuracies in his resume?
There's a little Hemingway originality there, apparently, but I don't think that's his problem. First of all, I've been watching this stuff by Jim Warren and all, and I know they're digging into everything. I think they're trying to decide that his novel wasn't quite history, which is fine with me if he took a little license, since he was really not running for president when he wrote it. But I think his problem's much bigger than this. He's starting to freeze out there. His numbers, I just checked his numbers last night. He was catching the Hillary in the time poll. He's moving within 8 of her. He was really closing the gap to the point where the projections would take him past her by Memorial Day, and now he's frozen. And I think it's because he's refused to engage her. He doesn't get on television. He doesn't argue with her. He apparently takes her lead when she says, "You can't attack me," and he doesn't. So he's not engaged in taking on the front runner. I just checked the betting odds. She's about a 50-50 bet to win the nomination, and he's sliding down around the 20. So I don't see anything changing in those numbers unless he engages her and says, "Let's debate now." I mean, we'll see when the debates start, but I think he's got to take her on.
Do you think she gets a nomination?
Yeah. Big money, early primaries. The fact that California's early, big money, L.A., Clinton is God in Santa Monica. They love him out there. The guys in the Birkenstocks love him. The beachcombers like him. The money people like him. He is magic in L.A., and I think that in California, and Hillary is going to benefit from that because it's a quick slam bang season. She could win in Florida, New Jersey, a lot of these early primaries. It's going to help her. It's also going to help Giuliani, those early big primaries. I think he could win the thing early, too, and surprise everybody.
Can she be elected president?
Somewhere out in the Atlantic Ocean, I think there might be a giant, green, ugly, horny monster, a gigantic monster of anti-Hillary, anti-woman Hillary, anti-liberal woman Hillary, some real ferocious beast out there that says no matter what happens between now and Election Day, they're not going to let her win. The men, some women, are just not going to let this woman win the presidency. I don't know whether that monster's out there. All men I meet are afraid to talk like that. You only hear criticism of Hillary from smart, college-educated women. They're the ones that always have a problem with her now. But something tells me this country hasn't changed that dramatically. A friend of mine pointed out the other day that we let African Americans vote starting in the 1860s, at least under the law. It took us till 1920s to let women vote. It's easier for men to accept a black guy as president than a woman president, I think, historically. So why is everybody so happy about Hillary? Have we changed overnight? And that's what I can't get in my head. If we have changed overnight, that's a big development. If we haven't talked about it yet. But there's something out there about having a woman president. It's huge, and nobody wants to talk about it. Just the idea of a woman president. And nobody's argued it. It's all this politically correct, careful discussion. And yet it's there, and nobody's debating it.
She still wouldn't be as bad as her husband or the current guy. So
well, her husband, this thing is she enabling him or what? What's going on? Ron Burkle, his playmate out there in L.A., Bill's playmate, is the one raising the money for her campaign. Is this some deal where she puts up with him and his lifestyle so that he raises her money? Yeah. I mean, it's so synchronized, the swimming of his behavior and his world and her need to be president. And the way it works together is a little unsavory. Am I wrong?
I hear you. No, you're right. No, you're 100% right.
We're all supposed to notice this, said Tom, but not mention it. We're supposed to notice. He always wants us to know he's got AstroTurf in the back of his car. He always wants us to know that stuff, that he's the stud. But we're not supposed to talk about it. He wants us to know it and clam up and live with it. That's his attitude towards that. Isn't it?
Man, you are right on. You got him. You're firing on all 8 this morning, Matthews. All right, baby. Thank you very much.
Villanova, and I got Darrell Hammond coming to me, the White House Correspondents' Dinner tonight, Radio TV Correspondents' Dinner. He's the guy who does me. So.
Okay, that should be fun.
Hey,
all right, man. Thank you. Chris Matthews, in the Imus Morning Program. How you been? Still on.